I wanted to briefly talk about Season 4, Episode 2 of Mr. Robot Payment Required. There will be massive spoilers for the entire series, and if you have not watched Mr. Robot at all, stop watching right now, go watch it, what are you doing? So in this episode, we found out that there is a third personality within Elliot. And a lot of theories have been going on around the internet about this, and I haven't seen many videos on YouTube yet about it, so I'm just going to talk about some of the theories and what I've seen online. If you want to go into subreddit, that is where I've seen everything that I'm talking about here. So, what I think to be likely theory is that Elliot is not the original identity of the person who we've been following throughout the show. That before the show, there was no Elliot Alderson as we know it, and there was another person. Name, I don't know. A lot of people have theorized what the name of this person could be. Some people say Sam Sepiol because of the hack when they changed the cooling temperature to break the hard drives. He used the name Sam Sepiol. A lot of people think it could be Ollie because in season 1, episode 10, he said to Tyrell's wife that his name was Ollie, but I don't know about that. I think if there is someone, it could easily just be called as someone called Elliot. But we know that he's an unreliable narrator, so anytime he's ever referred to as Elliot, that could just be him changing it in his head for us to hear Elliot as the same way when he's in a scene and someone says E-Corp, we hear Evil Corp. Maybe the entire series, Darlene is talking to him as his sister, brother to sister. Perhaps she is saying by a different name, but Elliot is just skewing it, and his perception is that she's saying Elliot. But there's some lines to back this up, and there's a line, I love this, in season 1, I can't remember the episode, it might be episode 3, episode 6 maybe, it's the withdrawal sequence, the dream sequence when he's shot, and then he has the weird Angela moment. But there's that moment where with Angela where that song Queen by Perfume Genius, I think it is playing, and she says, "You were only born a month ago." Which I think, I'm not sure, you'd have to look this up, but I think that fits into the timeline of when the show would have begun. But regardless, that makes sense, and it fits in with the Elliot is not the original personality. You were only born a month ago. You came into existence a month ago. I've seen some people say that the first line of the show is the moment Elliot came into existence, like that initial thought that this new personality had, which I think is really cool and interesting. Either way, I just wanted to talk about that theory for the most because I think it's really interesting. I've seen a lot of people are thinking could be Tyrell. Tyrell, no, it can't be Tyrell. That just doesn't make any sense. One thing I thought was strange in season 4, episode 2 was when Price was talking to Elliot. When Elliot was posing to him the proposition that Price could get all of the Deus group members together. He says to Elliot something, and as he's walking away, he just turns and walks away from Elliot. And then he walks by Mr. Robot, who is, like, I'd say 7 to 10 feet away, leaning against the desk. And then he says something to Mr. Robot. And it's just strange to me. I don't see how, like, what, the moment Price said the thing to Elliot, he started walking away, and Elliot just go on. Editing machine here. On second thought, the framing of the shot very well could be that Elliot just thought he was walking up closer and closer to him when he was just always leaning against the desk. I don't know. I don't necessarily think there's anything here, but I'll leave it in case you think there's something to that. But those are the main things. It's not Tyrell. I don't think it's going to be another person who we have seen. Oh, worth mentioning. There's the scene we see early on where Mr. Robot is talking to Tyrell. And then after the reveal that Mr. Robot is identity of Elliot, we see that scene again, and we see it as Elliot is sitting there, not Christian Slater, but Rami Malek, the actor, sitting there. And there's an additional scene on top of that afterwards where Elliot says, I think this is season 3, episode 9, I'm not sure. But Elliot says, you're not seeing what's in front of you, you're seeing what's in front of you, or you're not seeing what's above you. Or you're looking in front of you, you're not looking above. And that's an explanation of what Tyrell said to his wife near the end of season 1. And also, I'm not sure of when this part happens, but Mr. Robot has a gun pulled on Tyrell, and Tyrell mentions, you told me I shouldn't be looking in front, I should be looking above, blah, blah, blah. And Mr. Robot's like, what the fuck are you talking about? As if he's never heard that or said that himself. So that's another theory to push that it is a third personality, an original personality, then that it's one we have seen before. So it's not Tyrell. It's not some like a full independent character that we've seen before. It is just a different one of Elliot that we haven't been introduced to formally, but we have seen in the form of that scene. And probably in other places too. I've seen a lot of people looking for where he could possibly be or where it might have been this different Elliot, and it just hasn't been said to us. A lot of people think the Elliot we're seeing right now isn't our Elliot because he hasn't talked to us, and Mr. Robot has said, huh, he's being weird lately. He's acting strange. He's not even talking to you. Maybe that's because this guy never did. It's not Elliot. This is a different one who never talked to us, the audience. So I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that, but I think it's interesting. I just wanted to talk about all of that. I know this has been a clustered mess, but I've just been looking up these videos myself, and I couldn't find any that were specifically on about this stuff. So I just wanted to get it out there, start a discussion. I didn't come up with this stuff. Go on the subreddit, Mr. Robot. I'm sure there's other places you can find all of these theories. Lots of really great community, lots of great discussion, very fun. All that stupid stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.